Hello and welcome to our third mini lesson. Today we're going to be talking about hospital observation codes. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get right into it. So your observation codes start on page 21 of your CPT and they're going to go all the way to page 23. So here we go. Observation used to be a way to keep someone in the hospital for a short time while healthcare providers try to decide if they were sick enough to need inpatient treatment. Now, observation patients can sometimes be kept in the hospital for days on observation status. It's easy to see how this can be confusing for patients since we don't tend to think of outpatients as involving an overnight stay in the hospital. So observation patients, the facility is observing them to see if they're sick enough to be put into the hospital. Usually they're running tests or just observing blood pressure, pulse, things like that. So here's an example. Mr. Smith comes to the emergency room with chest pain. Unable to tell for sure whether or not Mr. Smith is having a heart attack, the cardiologist, Dr. Jones, puts Mr. Smith into the hospital on observation status. Mr. Smith spends the night in the hospital room attached to a heart monitor. Throughout the night, the nurses check on him regularly. He gets oxygen and blood tests drawn every few hours. Dr. Jones may even have ordered more extensive tests to determine the condition of Mr. Smith's heart. Late the next evening, after 2 days and 1 night in the hospital, Dr. Jones has enough information to determine that Mr. Smith didn't have a heart attack. Mr. Smith is discharged. So I just want to point out that the code 99217 is observation care discharge services. So on the discharge, you would use code 99217. That is found on page 21. Now, let's get into initial observation care. Remember, what does initial mean? First encounter. So we're going to be looking at 99218 through 99220, found on page 22. So our 99218 key components are detailed or comprehensive history. So D/C. I did put D/C, but really these are just D's. So it's going to be a DDS/L. So beside code 99218, your bullet points underneath, write DDS/L. And this typically is 30 minutes. So let's look at 99219 is a CCM, comprehensive history, comprehensive exam, and the medical decision making is moderate, and it's typically 50 minutes. So let's look at 99220. It's a CCL. So again, we have comprehensive history, comprehensive exam, but your medical decision making is high, and it's typically 70 minutes. Please take the time to write beside your bullet points these letters. So next, we're going to be talking about subsequent observation care. Definition of subsequent is following in time, order, or place. So subsequent is going to be everything after the initial encounter. So let's take a look at code 99224. 99224 is found on page 22, and it is a PPS/L. Time is 15 minutes. Notice I didn't put the letters on this, but you guys can do this part on your own. It's fairly self-explanatory. And it is 15 minutes. 99225 is an EM, expanded, moderate complexity. 99226. DDH, detailed history, detailed exam, and high MDM, medical decision making. So those are your observation codes. Your initial observations are going to be 99218 through 99220. Your subsequent are 99224 through 99226. All right, well, that is our mini lesson on observation codes in your CPT. Please label your CPT. What I mean by that is put you one of your labels and put observation at the top on one of your little tabs. Then go back and write your letters beside your codes. Have a great day and talk to you soon.